again, everyone. We're on to episode 7. You could argue that the last couple of episodes were 7 to 8, but no, they were like 6 1/3 and 2/3. So as you know, I am here along with Kevin today.
2 of us today.
We haven't got Sakura on board. Sadly, he's been caught up in stuff he has to sort out. Hopefully we'll see him again soon. So we're mostly doing our usual discussions. So we've made a couple of lists. We're giving them all unique tryouts, throwing some crazy ideas. So we'll talk about the conversion ideas. Just imagine, I'm still working on the Tech Marine conversion. So getting those Titanicus parts, hack a leg off, stick a Titan leg on there, just give them that nice robot foot.
You actually got around to doing that now then, yeah?
I haven't yet. The shipping's still in vet. Yeah, I know, it's been ridiculous. The place I was ordering about 5 weeks now. Now the annoying thing was, technically, the site I was ordering them from, they were going to say it's going to be sent off this day, but then when you look at it again, it skipped a day, and then you check the next day, it skipped again. So it's a bit of frustration.
Be a tad annoyed.
Yeah, so I'm hoping next week will be the day, unless I check later and find out it's done it again.
Don't put them all away.
And the other idea is I want to do a Exorcist. Mainly because Exorcist being the guy who has access to demonology laws. Mostly for me, it's going to be Sanctic, because I'm a total loyalist. And it's mostly because I saw the videos for the 30k channel where you had Miles' Blood Angels versus the other guy's Death Guard. So
one of my favourite videos, that.
I do love Miles' work. This is exactly why I'm a Patreon to his work. His stuff is really nice to read. I was actually store up a lot of his PDFs because I like them that much. But yeah, if I think he used an Essences in that game as well. He has them in like that. I think it's like a gold armor, but he does the whole 1 gold out because what he's dabbling with.
Yeah, he didn't summon anything though. It wasn't demonology there. I think he used biomancy with it.
He might have had a normal librarian then, and it's just the model that he plants as an Essences.
I think it's an SO. He counts it as an esoterist now. Maybe not back then.
Yeah, might be the case. But either way, it's one of those. It was fantastic battle report. If you haven't seen it, give it out a look. But it's given me a few ideas. So because for instance, I've been thinking of a similar idea. I've been watching a lot of the old animated Justice League movies. Most definitely the one where you have like the John Constantine on there.
Yeah, Constantine's great.
So it has kind of given me that little bit of spark of motivation to try and create a Dark Angel Exorcist under similar presence without the whole booze, wearing and all that whatnot attached to it.
What type of demonology would you use though? Sanctic or Malfic?
It would definitely be Sanctic because as much as the whole thing of I don't want to be trying a load of lesser demons to, because I don't like the idea of like being a loyalist army and then spawning demons left and right.
You could use thingies though. Nighthorn Ghosts. Nighthorn Ghosts. Get rid of the chains, unless they're propping up. Find a way to prop them up without using chains. Get rid of the swords, and they could be sort of like summoned watchers, can't they?
I can't help but picture like a swarm of midgets, rogue midgets with swords running forward. Actually, it looked more comical than terrifying. But
or if you do that, you can get hold of high elf white lions for doing the bigger things you can summon.
Oh yeah.
They can be like Calibanite lions you're summoning.
Oh, that works. Very similar to space stuff, really.
With space wolves, you can, do summoned wolves, like nature spirits and stuff like that.
I'll say.
There are a lot of things you can do with it to make it look like you're summoning good things, but really they're still demons.
Well, it's a board. I say I'm probably want to go with Santic because I like the idea that well, we read the stories about Caliban. We talk about having that evil that's underneath, that's within the planet.
Yeah.
So I like to think it only makes sense to have a guy who has like a small bit of Santic, like, or even like the most rudimentary form of Santic powers access.
Yeah.
In a game term, which would be pretty useful for the likes of, especially if like my Knight Cenobium may actually could do with that plus, that extra plus to their 4 pin funds, assuming if I can get the right rolls on it. There's also another example of me wanting to have a HQ of every sort just on standby.
Well, for doing that, I'm only missing 3 or 4 HQs. I don't have a Vigilator yet, but I have parts to make one. I don't have a Pravian. To be fair, the Pravian's probably the only one that I don't plan on making.
Is that the one that goes with the Dreadnoughts, or...?
Well, saying that, no, that's the one that goes with the Castellax robots.
Ah, yes.
Anakin robots. The Mortificator is the one that hangs around with Dreadnoughts, which I might do. Because I'm kind of got a lot of Dreadnought ideas in my head at the minute. I think Johnny Pop goes with the Monkey, box Dreadnought arms with left and right the Volkite culverins.
Yes, those ones you showed me
really
with the culverins, those
really
look
nice,
fantastic. Yeah. If everyone hasn't seen, Pop Goes the Monkey is a site where they do like, their own resin kind of versions. So somebody's done like the Volkite culverins for your standard boxy Dreadnoughts. So Kevin's actually bought a couple of them. They look really...
Somebody I know bought some.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I'm tempted between it's either left and right plasma cannons or left and right Volkite culverins. Probably looking for plasma cannons because of AP2. But I don't know if it's weird because I have that many assault cannons in the army. The Volkites do roughly the same job as the assault cannons, so I don't really.
Yeah, by that point you'd rather just have AP. No, I get that.
Well, it's not just that. It's small blasts are pretty good.
No, that's true as well. Yeah. But there's several ideas I'd like to throw out there. So Mortificator would be a very cool one to see. Imagine with the. Would it still be in like the usual angel-like armor, or would we have to make it more robust like Mechanicum?
Well, I'm going to check what armor. If you can take Terminator armor, I'm probably going to do Terminator armor, and at that point I'll scrape most of the back of the armor off, and legs and stuff, and do pistons.
Oh yeah.
Making more robot than Ursa, than Space Marine. In one of the, I think is it Master of Mankind? I'm sure it's Master of Mankind. There is a Blood Angel who's stationed on Terra. He's got both of his arms are bionic, both of his legs are bionic, and his limbs, they're not like good bionics. They're sort of
like bog
if
standard.
they needed to just strap it on straight away sort of thing, and they've not sort of meshed well with his nerve system, so they sort of switch every so often.
I get it.
Yeah, I mean, he does like fly about on the jump pack and stuff like that. But generally that's the basis of the idea around it. When I get around to doing a mortar factor, it'll be loads of bionics. So that's the way I want to go with it.
Yeah.
But again, like generally I'd want to put it in Terminator armor because then it'd suit the Dreadnoughts more.
Oh yeah, okay. It's a big bulky guy along with even bulkier guys.
Yeah, basically. I don't want to use Contemptors, I want to use box Dreadnoughts. So then I've got to find, because at the minute I'm using plastic ironclads and just sort of taking the weird stuff off them. But I know they're out of production. The Mark IV box Dreadnoughts are really good. If I can somehow get my hands on them without spending £1 million, then that's what I'll
Is
do.
it not like even one around, or
Pardon?
is it not like even one around, like even if something like a Ultramarine one or like the Space Wolf one?
I think Space Wolf one, I'm not sure if that's still on the Forge World web store, but
There's
the
a lot we
definitely not.
there's a lot of them there's probably a lot we probably missed out when they did like that phase out on some of the models they did. But yeah, I remember I was going to do the Estes. I haven't actually made a plan how I'm going to do it. I mean, I wasn't sure that I may actually start doing get the Heresy the 40k Death Guard kits and start doing the usual file and cleaning up, or I look somewhere else in the Heresy range to improvise on. But I think
I think if you use Death Guard, you've got to be prepared to do a hell of a lot of scraping and lose a hell of a lot of parts, because there are some legs that are just unsavable.
Yeah, cause there's too much of those tentacles crap on the legs.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean stuff long.
Doing late war Death Guard, like the Death Guard that turn up to Terror, like Jack Francis Eldridge has been doing.
Oh yeah.
Great for that, but if you want to turn it into a loyalist, or maybe not a demonic looking Space Marine, then you don't want to be using all the growths and the stomach plates of teeth and all that sort of stuff.
It doesn't mean
there's plenty of plastic Mark III arms knocking around. You can have a load of them yourself. I've got tons of them. It's not hard to replace the arms, which is easy. It then becomes a case of you've got to scrape so much back, and then you've got to resculpt enough detail. Because I did it with my accounts as Ralderon that uses Death Guard model for a base, and there are some parts I didn't even bother with, but the cape, where the cape is, covers them. You just can't see it at all. You can see a bit of the piping, and just before it starts turning into weird flesh, the cape covers it. It's just, you're not getting a brush there, you're not getting, people aren't going to see it, so
it's a tough one as well, because I know there's like loads of other options, but I don't want to be touching Mark IV armor, because it's not with the exception of that Ravenwing faction to it, which I keep Mark IV because it's the idea that it's a new wing, it's getting the nicer stuff. I feel like something with an Estes with what is the top grade A armor just a little bit stands out wrong.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
It's a very tough one, because otherwise it's a really tough one, because there's not really a lot of characters in general that are not in Mark IV armor. Because you get you got Sevatar in Mark IV, you got I
think it's just Sevatar, to be honest. Ralderon's
Ralderon is in Mark IV.
No, Ralderon's is a weird.
Oh, he's Mark V, sorry. He's like in the weird Mark V.
From the knees down, it's Mark VI. His breastplate is kind of like Mark IV, kind of.
Yeah.
His arms are whatever they want to be. Dinah is Mark VI. Is there any Raven Guard? Is there any Raven Guard special characters? There isn't, is there?
No, not actually made.
The Raven Guard hammer is Mark VI, so.
Oh yeah, the
Corday.
Yeah, that guy actually. That's right. That's the only Raven Guard.
Logan's in Mark IV. Erebus is in Mark IV. Sol Tarvitz is in Mark IV. So yeah Mark IV.
I mean, the only magical exception being Sigismund and Alexa Pollux are the only two that actually are not in Mark IV armor.
I'm struggling to remember power armored special characters models that exist you can buy.
Yeah, because you got the Alpha Legion guy, but he's in Mark IV.
Dynat.
Yeah.
Dynat's in Mark VI.
Is it Mark VI or was it
all flat panels?
It's hard to tell with the scales.
Yeah. Narek Drager. Narek Drager wears sort of like a mishmash armor pattern, doesn't he? And Auto One Score wears, I think, a stylized Mark IV.
There's a lot of them that are even stylish Mark IV or weird mix of armor.
Yeah,
Yeah, they don't give you a lot of. There's not a lot of options, sadly. It's not like I can even use like anything outside the Heresy range, like like Red Scorpions, because the Red Scorpions are also in Mark 4 armor.
Yeah, Khan the Betrayers is kind of half Mark 4, half Mark 5.
Yeah, I think it says World War Mark 5 with Khan.
Well, his legs, the upper part of his thighs are Mark 5 because he's got the pipes on the side, and from the knees down the Mark 4. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's a weird combo, but it's something I'm gonna have to work out. The only thing I think I was originally going to use that borderline in this now, where we were talking about that one of the new Primaris model swords. Yep. But I think I'm going to leave that one for like a future Deathwing commander, just to make it look more bigger and intimidating.
Yeah, don't be sculpting a point on the end of it though.
No, I'll go against it now.
Will be really nice.
Right, well, that's the ideas anyway in terms of about hobby ideas. I'm hoping sooner or later, once my mail order's around, I can finally start showing off some tech ring conversions. I've actually done the thing now where I've repainted, or I actually painted the heavy bolsters now for my jet bikes. So all the jet bikes now have heavy bolsters glued officially on now. I've already made the decision.
They're not magnetized anymore.
Nope, they're glued on now. I finally decided it was taking that long. Screw it. Because that's one of those things I have the rule for. If I have an idea and if it takes a lot longer than it should do, I just scrap it and just go with it.
That seems fair.
It is.
I've been looking at the Tech Marine Army list entry. Servitors can take Power Fists, which I didn't know. I mean, I know they can in 40k, but I didn't know they could in 30k. So Thunderhammer's Power Fist, I was like, looking at it because you can take Radford in it. Yeah, it's a really weird entry, to be honest, in the army list. So
yeah,
it'll be something I'll look into.
Looks like they can take grav guns as well, can't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because like you can buy graviton guns for them, but I'm sitting there going, but why?
They're not bad.
They're not bad, but it was like if the Tech Marine could buy Terminator armor, I'd been like, amazing, let's do that. But it's like,
I just think Tech Marine should be just a standard, relentless.
It would
or
make
slow and slow and purposeful, maybe.
If you think they'd have some form of trick like that. It's something I never understood that, because it's like. Well, speaking of Tech Marines, because we've been building our usual. I feel like we should make this as like a special, and now for like the list hour or something stupid like that.
Yeah, well, I've been writing a couple of lists, and I've been looking at ways to freshen up the Day of Revelation list, and I've done that. Which is not bad list. Yeah, I'm actually quite happy with it.
Yeah, because the list would be here when I get the edited up here. So we know what we kind of got. We got the Praetor, the Defining with his toys, the Chaplain with his bunch of toys.
Obviously, before Book 8 came out, it was Blade of Perdition, Infernal Pistol, Jump Axe, Iron Halo, Metal Bombs, Digilaser. It just stock Blood Angel, Praetor. And I generally always went with Blade of Perdition over the Paragon Blade, because I don't really want to be fishing for sixes to get benefits, where if I could just make somebody double out on wounds, that'll, fail 2 wounds and dead sort of thing on a Praetor, rather than just hoping for a 6. So that was the theory there, but then the Divining Blade came out and it's like, you were never not taking a Divining Blade on a Praetor, ever. Some people still take Paragon Blade and the Power Fist and mix the two, but I just think the Divining Blade is so strong, especially for Blood Angels that get +1 to wound with a melee weapon. It's just 2 to wound a Space Marine and it's instant death, so
there's like only
almost
one
like
time
Power Fist in a way, as long as you're not on a bike. So
it's like the only time I can ever think about not taking the Defining Blade, it's depending on if your HQ is actually going to make that much of an impact in the fight, or as if you're like heavily depleting on points. So I made a list on that, but we'll get to that later. You then have like your the usual 2 assault marine squads with the axes.
Because it's Day of Revelation, this is a 3k list. Day of Revelation, you got obviously you have to take the Praetor, take the Right War for the Praetor.
Of course.
The 1 HQ and 2 troops and a fast attack choice that skims or flies. So I used to run the Lightning with Kraken missiles. I've changed that to Legion Land Speeders with multi-melters and grab guns because they're less than half points.
Oh yeah.
Of the Lightning. They can deep strike. They're fast. Guns are good. They do the job, but they keep the points down to invest elsewhere, which is when I'll get to them later. You'll understand why. So I've got the basics of HQ, 2 troops, and the fast attack we just discussed. The 2 troops are 2 identical assault squads, 2 15-man assault squads, 2 power axes, power sword, and the champion has Artificer armor and power fist, which is just everyone does it.
Oh so yeah,
it's just standard stuff.
When you don't have it.
Yeah, I mean a lot of people I know these assault marines have gone lots of small units or less units but big units, and I just think the 15 is just, it works better, especially with the footprint of the unit. Small units die too quick, big units are too clunky, so medium size kind of, you know, Goldilocks and the 3 bears is just right. So the rest of the HQs are Chaplain, Artificer armor, Blade of Perdition, so can't take Paragon Blade, and it can't take a Divine Blade, and I don't want to take Power Fist because I'll be going at Initiative. So Blade of Perdition, really good. AP2, goes at Initiative, and it doubles unsaved wounds. So if you're a 2 wound model, say Justerin, for example, you run in, cause 3 unsaved wounds, that's 3 Justerin dead. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not great. Doesn't, if you wound 3 single wound models, it doesn't kill 6. Doesn't do that. So it's really good. So obviously you have to keep the Crozi's Arcanum now. So it's Blade Edition, Crozi's Arcanum, Refract Field, Infernal Pistol, the jump pack, standard. That's going to be going in a jump pack unit to give the buffs. Command Rhino, no upgrades. Self-explanatory.
Well, yeah, we already know what the Command Rhino's there.
Day of Revelation, I do not want Assault Marines landing the far end of my table edge, or worse, dying, which has happened a couple of times while I've been playing people. First elite's choice is 3 Apothecaries with jump packs and power swords. 2 of these are going to be going in the Assault Squad, which then gives the Assault Squad an extra set of power weapon attacks. Yeah, so the Assault Squad's 2 axes, 1 sword, and now it's like, well, why not 3 of the same, or split the other way around? It's like, well, 2 guys with power swords, because the Apothecary, Blood Angels go at initiative 5 when they charge, so if you can kill Marines before they go first, that's good. Then the axes can deck things anyway. Now anything that can kill 15 Assault Marines in a single turn, don't give a fuck about the swords. They don't, so it doesn't matter. The same goes for the axes, but the axes are there to back up against Terminators and the like, because you're then wounding the Terminators or whatever on 2s, because Blood Angels and +1 strength. But feel no pain helps the survivability, and if you manage to go first, the Day of Revelation, when you deep strike on turn 1, you have a 5+ cover save, which is then a little bit more of an onion to peel back to get to that centre. The amount of times that's, obviously there are Typhons and things that exist, but if you're being shot by plasma guns or whatever, it's just that bit more you gotta get
it's still...
Yeah. So 2 of those Apothecaries go in the Assault Squads. Now one of my other elite choices, I have 3 elite choices. One of my other elite choices is one of Blood Angel special units. Now obviously, for the longest of times I've been using Day Revelation without unique units. Now I can. Buckets out, the units are out. I've done Dawnbreakers. 4 have Equinox Blades, which are really good. 5 have Starfall Spears. The unit leader can take a Blade of Perdition, which is really powerful. The whole squad has melter bombs. They all wear artificer armor. The stats are good. They are there. It's like a 400 point. You bang on 400 points for 10 with 4 pairs of swords, melter bombs, and a Blade of Perdition on the champion. Really expensive, but again really durable. And this is where another of the apothecaries will go. So they've got a 2+ save, and as long as it's not strength 8, they've got a 5+ save. And as long as it doesn't cause instant death, it's a 5+ save. It's all good. That's my third elite choice, final one. A lot of people, you know, I know Max doesn't like this unit. It's 10 angel tiers with 9 assault cannons.
Yeah, because everyone always questions about these ones, because everyone's, I think was it because they're more upset about, don't like the idea of how many points are thrown there, or?
Well, no, it's 9 assault cannons, they can kill whatever they want to.
Oh yeah, it's just more the violence that they can deliver.
Like, and they're assault weapons as well because they have dispenser webs. The deep strike negates, to an extent, negates short range, but without the command rhino, you're then relying on scatter, so the scatter can be 4 or whatever else. So
the only worst time you're gonna have a gamble, the only worst time I can actually imagine is, and only because I've learned it when I faced another Blood Angel player, is if you have to do that deployment stone where there's the longest length table edge.
Yeah.
That's the only time I've seen that being a problem, because myself and Zach we were in the Throne of Skulls doubles one time, and because of that setup, so the Death Guard and Blood Angel player, the Blood Angel player was in there with 2 big large units of assault squads that couldn't get that proper surprise with that close to you without having to actually take that risk of deep striking outside it.
They're expensive, but that's weighed out by the fact that if you've not got a rhino, you are taking a risk. And
you don't even, and the worst part is, you don't even, if I recall right, you don't even have to use the suspense webs. If you're in desperate, you could always land in and snap fire at long range, if I recall right.
No, you have to use it. So once you take a suspense web, you switch to the profile.
I thought that was an option, since after all, because the Dreadwing guys have, like, you can get the heavy incinerator, and that actually is on suspense webs, so that would be on 9 inches all in general.
Yep.
Because otherwise, you know, by that point you could have just wrote in plasma incinerator, suspense web, and just kept it 9 inches.
Well, I think with that,
it might be the way of writing. I might be wrong.
Kind of, if you think of a flamer from 8th edition, it's a flamer template of roughly 9 inches. So it essentially becomes a.
It might be. But yeah,
incinerators, Grey Knights have incinerators, don't they? So it's just a plasma version. So.
Oh, that's true.
I've already spoke about the fast attack choice, which is something you need to take.
Yeah.
Does what it says.
You got your heavy supports.
Oh yeah, I've got some heavy supports. So the land speeders are there to fill a need and fill a niche of anti-tank. Because you look at it, it does look like it's lacking anti-tank, but looks can be deceiving. It's just a lot of it requires melee and luck from rending, maybe. There's a couple of Inferno pistols, but the land speeders is 2 haywire shots, 2 melter shots. That's not bad for 130 points.
Oh yeah, we mentioned the land speeders in detail. Yeah. So if I recall right, we have
heavy support.
The 5 Dreadnought.
Yep. Yeah, it's the standard Leviathan Dreadnought itself. It's in a drop pod. Mine is Snippy Claw, so the one that does multiple wounds rather than the siege drill. 2 Ilias assault cannons in the chest, and a cyclonic melter lance, which is more anti-tank. I do take armored ceramite, but I don't take phosphex. I've not taken the phosphex launcher, just because.
Yeah, I remember I haven't took those since that old Imperial Fist Army attempt I had. It was just one of those. It's a lot of points to just go there.
Yeah.
Especially when you got your standard.
20 points for a 1-use shot. Well, 3 blasts with 1 use. It's a lot of points.
Especially when the jump guns can do it.
yeah, that drops in turn 1, hopefully within Rhino range, and then it's a massive sort of, you know, bullet magnet for the assault squads, which, to be fair, there's 4 of, which, including characters and all the units combined, jump pack models, there's 55 in this army. So that's a bit of a bullet sponge, which is nice. If I'm going first, it might kill something, hopefully, like a big tank. That might cover that might, maybe AP2, whatever. That's a threat to the assault squads. It's there for doing that.
Yeah, because the 5 are fantastic.
Artillery, that kind of stuff. And something I kind of had to stick in, and then it just worked out really well, was a heavy support slot of 3 Predators. Now this is assault cannon crazy as well. I have upgraded turrets to twin linked assault cannons, and the Spontans have assault cannons. I've given them auxiliary drives, dozer blades, and pintle mine multi-melters. That's like 420 points for the 3 of them, but it's pretty good. Now the thing is, with Blood Angels, any model equipped with a heavy flamer can take an assault cannon for either 5 points for infantry, 15 points for a vehicle. Now Predators can take pintle mounted as well, but I've got multi-melters this time. Can take sponsor mounted heavy flamers, but you have to pay 20 points for it. So you have to pay the points for the heavy flamer before you pay the points for the assault cannon. So for the assault cannons, it's then 35 points per sponson, but it's not bad. Rending, AP4, strength 6, high volume shots, good. So it's like 9 assault cannon shots, 12 assault cannon shots per Predator if you can get into like optimum firing range and staying still. But also you can drive about with multi-melters just trying to pop tanks. If 2 of them do multi-melters and then Rhino or something like that, and then the other one just hoses whatever's popped out of it. Can you do that? I don't think you can do that, can you? You can assault.
No, you can't. You can't shoot. You guys can shoot a tank, and then they can charge the guys who get out of it.
Yeah, that's right.
No, you can't like shoot the tank and then shoot the other guns at it. I actually had to stop a guy a long time ago with that because he was trying to use a Reaver Titan on that, and I was telling him you couldn't do that even with a Reaver. Because it was because of super heavies, you have to choose all your targets first.
Yeah, you still have to charge something you've shot at. You can't shoot things and then charge something you've not shot, but
because the guy tried to do it for like objectives, and I had to like slap his wrist on that one, but I cut the shit out.
Yeah.
I just have to do the maps there. So technically your army has 20 assault cannons if I'm counting that right. Because you have your 9 assault cannons with your tiers. You then got 9 with your actual Predators alone.
Yeah.
And then you got the 2 on your Dreadnought.
Oh yeah, Dreadnought, I forgot about that.
You actually have like 20 assault cannons.
Yeah.
20 assault cannons to dish on the table. Like, so that's a solid 80 shots all there.
Yeah.
300 quotas anywhere?
I never thought about that, to be fair. I'm just thinking about getting volume of wounds and stuff. And
it felt more like when I do it.
It can't win objective-based games. It can't. There are 2 scoring units, unless the mission gives me more, but there's still not going to be more than 4 scoring units.
At best, yeah. And it's not like you got units that can really sit there and hold an objective, not when they could do
a lot. An objective and jump packs, not a chance.
Yeah, it's not going to sit there. And it's the only time you're going to be holding it is unless you're suddenly heavily outgunned and you have to spend more time hiding than attacking. But that's hopefully a situation you never want to be in.
Well, it'll be difficult to outshoot just because of the sheer volume of strength 6 shots. Because you've got the 20 assault cannons, but every single one of the Dawnbreakers has also got the strength 6 grenade launcher.
Have they got those?
Yeah, a lot of people do. But no, they have the grenade launchers which they can do frag crack, which is strength 6, strength 3. So that's 10 more shots at strength 6 AP4 or strength 3 AP5, which is good crowd control or good light arm if you can get get into the back of a Rhino or something like that, you can do a Rhino quite easily with 10 strength 6 shots. So it's not too bad.
Even if it's like a White Scar bike army, you can scare bike army heavily with that.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's high volume of good strength shots, and the melee abilities is quite good as well because there's a lot of rending swords in the Dawnbreaker unit.
Yeah.
There's Spazer, AP2 on the charge.
There's a lot of rending packed up there. Well, so we got them up as a Blood Angel list, very terrifying one. I actually built this list more for my friend Lucas. As I said, I got my friend Luke. He's kind of new to the Horus Heresy games, but he is well known for his like 5th and 6th edition gaming. So for a while we've been having this hassle about where he doesn't know what to put in this list. So there should be one here now. So I'll describe what it is. We got like the usual Iron Daddy, which with his whole Paragon Blade, Iron Halo, and a Familiar, because that
Iron
way.
Hands,
yeah, so it's an Iron Hand one. So as I said, this is the reason why I didn't give him a Paragon Blade, because I was running very low on points. It was a little bit of a, you know my situation a lot. I get a lot of this where I end up with like this minute 30 point, like 20 points or something, where you find it then very difficult to add to it. So
why has he just not got a Divining Blade? It's like the gold
getting
standard now.
points because
trying to keep it cheap.
it's more of a play around for it, really. So I did like the likes of, we got 10 Medusian Immortals, Volkite Chargers, your Artificer Armor Sergeant, and all these will be in a Land Raider Phobos. So he has the 3 twinning glass cannons add to the Land Raider.
Yeah.
We then got like the 10 Gorgon Terminators, 4 of them with chain fists, because you already got a Thunder Hammer already. You then got the 2 grab guns in the off chance you might need it. In the Spartan as well, the usual favourite toys, the Flare Shield, the Armored Termite. So at this point you can already see there's already like 2 big tanks of Land Raiders there.
The thing is, grab guns on Terminators is really good. Really
oh, it is, yeah.
As long as you're going to need a lot of extra 3-inch templates, because you're going to need to leave stuff on the board. So you can buy steel rings from eBay to put down over the template when it lands, because that's then difficult terrain. So you're controlling the board, you're controlling any movement with it. Difficult and dangerous, I think, or at least difficult.
It would be cool. I have to look into. It's something I would like to have to look into it. If I had my way, though, I would probably just make a 3-inch template and make like a squashed guy on it or something. Just make it look like it's just been squashed or something. Not ideas I could throw out.
Well, if you did a press mold of a Space Marine, did a little bit of plastic card cut in shape, well, even 2 or 3 of them,
Get
the
light
green
in
stuff.
space.
Press it on there, but then sort of peel it back while it's still wet, and then just sort of use something with a flat edge to sort of push the detail in, so it looks like it's been crushed by gravity. I think that'd be pretty good to do the markers for it.
Oh yeah, it would be a cool idea. Oh yeah, so, and then because, again, I'm also working this list with what he also has right now, so this is another reason why some bits may look weird. We had like 2 Contemptor Dreadnoughts, just dual assault cannons, just to add in for gunpowder. If I had my opinion,
is that a Mortis or a normal one?
Just normal ones. It's the point system, points again. So we're adding a little bit of firepower just because it's head of the Gorgon right of war. So the chances are some things will probably be in the deployment zone. So just keeping a little bit, just having something on the safe side.
Yeah.
Your 2 standard attack squads, sergeants with artificial armor and combi melters in rhinos. Just on the off chance, a combi melter never hurts. Especially if somebody starts resorting to using a dreadnought to try and chase you off an objective. Then I got the 10-man support squad with the Volkite calipers. Now I do love using a lot of Volkites here, so that's why the Volkite calipers are there, because that's still 20 strength 6 AP 5 shots at 30 odd range.
Oh, it's not the heavy support ones then?
Yeah, no, not the heavy one. There's support squad, so it's like a smaller version of the Culverin.
I've never really looked at bulk weapons because I've never really used any.
So you got like the Charger, which is the
one that
M5.
Terminators can take.
Yeah. There's a Caliber, which is
Squads.
Yeah, which is like 30-inch range, Strength 6, AP5, Heavy 2.
Right, yeah.
Then you get the Culverin, which is the 45-inch range, Heavy 4-shot one. But as I say, the Caliber is actually brilliant because it's only 5 points on the support squad.
That's really good. That's tight.
You could you could just basically spend 50 points on a 10-man squad to have 40 strength, 20 strength 6 EP5 shots at 30-inch range.
Right.
It's it's fantastic if you're having that. So that's why I have one in my squads now. So I like my big squads, and then like that 1 10-man squad there, and it still gives me that amount of firepower to dish out.
That's not bad.
And then I already mentioned Spartan. The one fast attack choice I added in it, and it's more because this is more of an experiment. This one, the two box standard saber tanks with the those auto cannons with the Sunder and the heavy bolters. And at that point, that's more of a if you have a Rhino running towards an objective, you can chase the Rhinos or chase the light tanks more than
If I was going to take a fast attack choice for Iron Hands, it would be bites, not jet bites. Outriders. Toughness 6 to shoot in is probably more durable than a saber, especially with turbo boost.
But because of it's head of the Gorgon, I was also thinking they get the automatically outflank as well.
Outflank, yeah, you're nice.
Yeah, so
yeah.
So the saber tanks get to do the same thing as well. This is where it gets weird though. So for the last rest of my points, as more of an experiment, I've actually literally kitted them out with 2 Sakaran Arcus tanks. No, just the bog standard missile battery.
Yeah, is that after that game we had where I shot all your bikes off of forward turn 1?
Well, I always remember them being scary. Even I actually had to fight one guy once who had 2 Arcuses, and I was already there in my head going, oh hell no.
You had a game against me and I used 2 Blood Angels using 2 Arcuses. And it's where's your HQ squad?
I had 2 games where you were one of them. There was another guy who was in Nottingham who was also using 2 Arcuses, and he also had the blood guns. So, and I had a good shot. This is the same guy who I also argued back then about the Blade Edition before they got before they got put in the Malevolence.
The wording hasn't changed. It's just.
Oh no, because back then it didn't have that proper wording. So he had his 3 attacks, but he was making me remove 6 Marines.
Yeah, he was cheating back then as well, because back then that's the way I assumed it as well. It wasn't. It was always intended to be. It removes multi-wound models rather than single wound models.
That's what I mean. I was always doing the free test, but yeah, it was one of those. It's like when people they read it the way they like to read it, and then they're like, "Oh, but until somebody tells me to stop." Right, so we hit the 50-minute mark. I will probably call it for there. Hopefully we can. We'll probably end up making much more lists. We'll get into more discussion about more hobby ideals.
Well, I've actually got a couple lists that I really want to try out, and one of them is tactical marine heavy, and I mean 60 tactical marines, 3 tactical support squads, all on the floor. So that's 90 dudes on the ground.
We'll have to definitely give that a read on that one next week then, because that does sound fun to read up.
Well,
I still need to write this down.
Hundreds of dudes is what the Heresy is about in it. So getting all these boots on the ground, Marines shooting at each other with bolt guns, that is the Heresy in it. So
intergalactic mosh pit.
Basically, yeah.
Intergalactic mosh pit.
So yeah, that's what I'm working on. That's something I've got in the back of my mind for a bit later, and I've got almost all those models as well. So it's nothing I've not already got. Nice. Which is always an upside. Who knows? some submarines might make an appearance in that list as well, because I like submarines. But that's mostly going to be tactical squads and dreadnoughts.
I get you. Right, we'll call this episode for today. Thanks everyone for watching once again. Once more, our favourite words: like, subscribe, and obey. We now have a Twitter account, which I imagine most of you have actually seen now, because I've been slapping most of my pictures of my previous work up there, and I've been deciding to play around with it a bit more, speak loudly on Twitter, usual choice of Twitter.
Definitely speak louder.
I know, I just need to make sure everything's in uppercase now.
Yep.
Alright everyone, thanks again, and we'll see you all again for next week's episode. Peace out.
Later.